Welcome to the Sip Session, where we sit down over coffee, chat with inspiring creators, and dive into fresh conversations. Today, I'm super excited to have singer-songwriter John Muirhead join us. He is currently on tour across Canada, and he is celebrating the latest release of his new album, The Nomad. So, grab your coffee, your tea, or whichever drink you prefer, and join us for a great chat. Hey everyone, welcome to the Sip Session. I'm here today with John Muirhead. John, thanks so much for joining me.
What's going on? Ashley, thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, how are you doing these days? You're quite busy. You've got a tour, new album just released. You've got a hit that is doing over 100,000 streams, which is amazing. How has life been since The Nomad has come out?
Life has been crazy, but amazing. I feel like this last year of my life has just been really pushing it and, in every way, musically and on the touring side and on the visual side. And it's really nice to see the fruits of that labor come to be. It's really nice to finally share all this stuff that I've been working on behind the scenes for so long. And the shows have been amazing. We've had a lot of sold out shows, a lot of great crowds, and meeting everybody has just been amazing.
Amazing. Well, let's kind of go back a bit and kind of dive into your creative process, because I know an album takes a lot. It could be even years to put together when it comes to the writing and then heading into the studio. So Colors in My Head, huge hit, just recently hit 100,000 streams, which congratulations, that's amazing.
Thank you very much.
I love that song. It is great. It's on replay here a lot.
That's awesome.
So was there a story behind Colors in My Head? You know, when did that kind of start? What's that process for you?
Yeah, so Colors in My Head is one of my favorite songs on the record. I actually wrote that with my friend Simon Ward, who is from a band called Strumbellas, as well as producer Ryan Worsley, who produced the whole record. We did that on a Zoom writing session. And
Amazing.
Yeah, it was awesome. And the song kind of came to be from a feeling of being kind of closed off emotionally for many years and sort of, on the romantic side of things, not really looking for anything as I was for many years. And then just sort of having your heart opened up by an experience. So I wanted to capture not only lyrically that feeling, but musically, a lot of the song, it starts very minor and quiet, and then it kind of builds up into this opening, and I wanted to capture that as well. And I think we nailed it. I'm really excited about it.
It's great. I love it. It's such a happy, hopeful song that finding love definitely comes out in that. And yeah, I think it's great. So awesome. You've been on a lot of different tours. I know you're currently on a tour across Canada. Do you find that touring in different places influences your writing?
Certainly. Yeah. The title track of the album, Nomad, is actually inspired by that. I was on tour in Germany. I've done a couple tours out in Europe, and a lot of those tours, they were self-booked, self-promoted, just me. I had, some interest from some fans out there to do some house concerts and some smaller venues. And I just said, let's do a leap of faith and do it. And that song came from being on the road for 5 weeks by myself, slinging all my gear and merch on trains and just doing it. And which is such high highs, right? And then there's also these lows of being alone and homesick and missing the people that you love and kind of questioning why am I out here so far? What compelled me to do this? And that song came from that feeling. So it can be direct like that, and also just being exposed to different musical acts, different experiences. It all comes through in the music for sure.
Yeah, and I'm sure you've come across so many different artists too on tour. So even hearing different sounds or collaborating with different people for songwriting, it probably all takes space in creating an album or in creating songs. So that's really neat. That's a really special story for Nomad. So thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, my pleasure. Yeah.
So speaking of the Nomad, let's talk about your album. What do you feel is the biggest surprise or takeaway when releasing this album?
I think the biggest takeaway, I'll go one step back and say in the creation and in the early stages of this album, there were two sort of mindsets that shifted for me that allow me to create what I think is my best work yet. The first is collaboration. So I am a solo artist, and I've done everything up to this point was 100% written by me. In terms of I worked with some amazing producers, but it was very much, I was taking a bigger seat in the production. Whereas with this record, I really focused on collaborating, and I wrote with some really amazing songwriters, some people that I've looked up to for years. And I just tried to consistently push the envelope on how can we make these songs better? How can we say what I want to say in a more coherent and straightforward way? How can we communicate ideas musically and lyrically in the best possible ways? Yeah. So that collaboration, I think, really helped make the songs and production stronger. And I think that the other mindset was just the constantly pushing of not saying good enough and just really going for it. So that meant sometimes feeling like I was pulling my hair out, stressing over the littlest things. But I think that I really benefited from doing that. I'm so proud of the record.
Oh, that's so great. And honestly, I think that like, what's the next step? Like, can I push a little bit more? That's such a huge mentality for artists these days, singers, songwriters, anybody in the creative industry, I feel, to kind of, not push yourself to like over the limit, but just, I have a goal. Okay, we've met that goal. What's the next thing I can do to make it better? And so I really like that sentiment. Yeah, that's amazing. Which song have fans connected with the most so far?
I'd have to say it's Colors in My Head. So it's been a really cool year because every song seems to sort of push the envelope in terms of listenership and the way it's connecting with people. When I released Don't Mind in June, which was the single previous to that, there was a lot of firsts. It was, first radio play on some bigger stations like Indie 88. It was first to hit 100,000 streams in under 2 months. But then Colors in My Head came along, and it surpassed all those records that I had just set. So it was really cool to see that. I have to say that one, and also there's a song on the record called Everything Everywhere. And even before the record came out, it was a live favorite and a live stream favorite from my online community as well. So I'm really excited that one is out as well.
That one's made it on there. Awesome. That's amazing. What is something you've learned recording this album versus your past ones or your past singles?
Yeah, I think it's hard to even verbalize how much I learned. I have to give a big shout out to Ryan Worsley, who produced it. We made the album in Port Coquitlam, BC, at his studio, Echo Plant, over the course of 3 trips. So it was about a month total of living at the studio and making this. And it was a process of how do we make this better all the time, and his choices production wise and his feedback on everything from my vocal performances to the way that I play guitar or even what instrumentation to use, and not even just what instrument, but what type of instrument. Are we going to use a smaller guitar with a muted bridge, or are we going to use a vintage Gibson acoustic on this one? So all of those choices and really taking care to consider every choice was definitely a huge takeaway.
Amazing. That's awesome. So we're going to kind of move into your current tour life. Because you are, again, you're no stranger to a tour. You've been to Europe, as you mentioned before. You've done several different tours around Canada, and even recording across out west. So what is your favorite stop or memory so far from your current tour?
I'd have to say it's hard to pick a favorite because there's a really awesome experiences in every city, and every show is special in its own way. I think that the Hamilton show at Mills Hardware was really cool because it was sold out and the energy was just really, really awesome from everybody singing along to certain songs like A Little Bit Lonely and Don't Mind and Colors. And I had this really cool feeling that I never really felt before, which was we ended the show with Colors in my head. And as soon as I sang that first line, like, I don't want to dance, hearing everybody cheer and the room kind of erupt, I was like, this is really cool. I've had, some great experiences of people hearing the songs for years and listening, but to kind of have that sense of, oh, this is what people were waiting for is made me feel like I have a hit song on my hands, which is very cool.
Yeah, well, you do. 100,000 streams. You definitely do.
Hey,
and in a short period of time.
Appreciate
I'm
that.
sure
Thank
they
you.
were all singing the words. They all know. Yeah.
It was awesome.
I was just going to say, how does performing live feel? But you kind of described it there. So I'll pivot my question to more of, does it ever get old? Does that feeling of performing live, you've been doing it for a long time, do you ever not get those nerves? Do you ever not feel that excitement? Or is it just every show, every new city, it's just, pure excitement each time?
Yeah, it certainly is always exciting and fun, and it's my favorite thing in the world to do. I think the one thing that's changed recently, and I think it's just a confidence thing where it used to be a really big like wave in the first two songs of like, just my body kind of freaking out, getting all excited and nervous and pacing around. And then kind of settling down by like song number 3 and then being fully present in the moment. I find recently I've been it's been a little bit easier to sink into that calm feeling, which is really nice. And it makes it more enjoyable because it's still a rush, but it's a little bit more controllable, I guess. Although I will say, like, every time that it's really out of my comfort zone. So we just played at the Key to Bala, which was awesome, and there's about 1,000 people there, and typically the headline shows are like 150 people.
Wow, so that's a big jump,
which is awesome. Yeah. So then, and we were opening for Glass Tiger there, and it was just when you're opening and the room doesn't know you versus a headline show, it was a little bit like, oh wow, I have that feeling of nerves and excitement and everything and jitters, and I'm kind of pacing around checking all my gear multiple times, but that's fun too. I do enjoy that because when you get off stage, it's such a huge cathartic rush.
Absolutely. I know that you've got a lot going on, but is there anything, any collaborations or any new projects on the horizon after your tour, or are you going to be taking more of a break, or what are your plans?
Yeah, there's a lot actually. So we just added right before this call a whole bunch of extra dates to the tour next year. So
wow,
I have to give a shout out to the East Coast of Canada because on my TikTok I posted something about the tour, and I was overwhelmed with comments of angry East Coasters saying where is Halifax and where's Fredericton and all that, which is amazing. I played out there. I love playing out there. My first tour ever was actually out to the East Coast of Canada. So we just added a run of shows out there, which is great. And there's also a whole bunch of new music coming next year that's already done and already in the works too. So there'll be more on that as well. But also recorded with Ryan in some of those sessions as well out in BC. So there's more music coming next year and more tour dates and some really cool support slots that I can talk about a little bit later too, which is sweet.
Sure. So things on the horizon. That's amazing. Awesome. Well, we look forward to listening and hearing all of your new stuff in the new year.
Thank you.
I was just going to go back and kind of talk about what is one thing fans might not know about you off stage.
One thing fans might not know about me.
That you want to share, obviously.
That I want to share. Yeah, let me. I'm just trying to think of the best one to share. I feel like, well, it's funny because I have this online community, Sunday Songs on TikTok. I play every week on Sunday nights, And that's like my favorite place in the world. And I feel like those people know like everything about me. So maybe the plug is maybe people don't know that I go live every Sunday on TikTok, and I've been doing it for like 4 years, and it's super cool. I've only missed a handful over that time. So maybe they don't know that there's this extensive online community that they can hang out and get to know everything.
Yes. Okay. So you'll have to, maybe we'll put that link in.
Cool. Yeah, totally. That'd be awesome.
And they can tune in. Mm-hmm. Perfect. Any advice for artists that are launching their first album?
Yeah. I'd say kind of ride the line of doing things before you're ready. So I think that like when I listen back to some of my really early stuff, I can remember some of the feelings of maybe I'm not ready for this, or maybe, you know, I shouldn't go and book this tour in the East Coast because I don't have any real listeners out there, or like there's a lot of things that I could have done to sort of stop myself, especially looking back now with all the insights. I'm like, maybe I didn't make the wisest business decisions with some of my touring, or maybe I didn't consider all the things that I have considered now with this record, but that's okay. That's why we learn. I think that learning by doing and not by thinking is the way forward. So I'd say just go for it and give it your all. I'd say also in the same breath, like focus on just doing everything quality. So if you want to release an album, maybe just start with releasing that first single and do something like break it into the smallest component, and then do that component in the best way that you can, and then reevaluate, because you're going to learn so much more from doing it versus watching videos on YouTube or reading about it. Just get out there and jump in with both feet. I think that this music journey requires you to go all in. I think that and that's not saying quit your job and start from scratch, but it's saying, you know, really commit to being an artist and do the work required. And yeah, then, you know, and just also have fun with it too. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be fulfilling. So never forget that as well.
Yeah. Oh, that's great advice. I think that's awesome. How do you stay inspired and grounded while touring?
That is a great question. I think one thing is like expectation setting. So I made the kind of commitment this year to not put any expectations on like my writing output while on the road and while releasing this album. So I think there was a time where I thought, oh, I can, you know, write something every day and also do all this other stuff, but that's just not realistic. So I'm kind of thinking of my my career moving forward in seasons. So I've got like a writing season, and then a touring season, and a recording season. And of course, I'll get inspiration to write things, and I just won't feel the need to finish them and record them until we're done with all that, which is good.
Yeah.
I think also it's just important to take a step back and have some kind of a routine. So it's very busy on the road. Some days it's, you know, driving all day, loading in, playing the show, packing up, doing it all again the next day. But even if you have a second to yourself to go, you know, leave the phone in the room and just go for a walk, or schedule some times to call home, or schedule some times to just not do music stuff, and then really take a real break, not just like doom scrolling on TikTok. That's the best way to stay inspired. And I think just being like present at the shows, like I get so inspired by talking to people. I've been so lucky with this community that we're building. So many people have, you know, come up at the merch table and brought nice gifts and brought you know, their thoughts and experiences, and that just like there's no way that wouldn't keep me inspired. It's so awesome.
That's so lovely. Okay, follow-up question to that. What is the craziest thing that or the nicest thing? Maybe we'll do a two-parter. What is the craziest thing you've received or had a fan do? And what is the nicest thing you've had a fan do or received from a fan?
Thankfully, nobody in my community has ever done anything that's made me feel like it was too much. Nothing, you know, that feels strange or anything, or crossing any boundaries, which is awesome, because I know not every artist can say that. But the coolest thing that's happened to me. There's two of them. The first is the last show of my tour last year. I received this jar, and it was full of pieces of paper, and said on the top of the jar, for the post-tour blues. And it's all of these messages about how my music has impacted the people in my community.
Oh.
And just incredible. And I, some days it's needed to go pick that up and have a reminder. And the second one was at my Hamilton show just earlier in the month. And the community online, the Travelers, had put together this series of birthday cards, like 7 birthday cards, and they all had these really long, thoughtful messages from people all over the world about my music and wishing me a happy birthday. And some of the cards were actually passed around at previous shows in the year. So this was like months in the making. And it was just so cool to see that all laid out, like all the people that are enjoying what I do. It's just, it's pretty amazing.
Oh, that's so lovely. And like, I feel like those stick with you. Do you know what I mean? Like that, like you said, you carry the jar with you, you take it on tour with you, or you have it with you, and you actually read and look at those things when you need to. Which I'm sure for your fans that are probably going to watch this and hear that, they're probably like, that's so great that he actually still does that. But
for sure, yeah.
Like, yes, what a beautiful, sentimental thing, and something that sticks with you and just kind of reminds you that people are listening to your stuff and they appreciate all of the songs that you're putting out there and like your creativity and all of that. So that's lovely. That's a really great story.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's important to separate, sometimes you can look at numbers on the screen and think, oh, wow, like, people are listening, but then to actually see that people are appreciating and creating a culture and a community around it is like, that's the real goal, more so than any of the numbers or anything like that.
Absolutely. Yeah, for real. That's great. All right. We have come to the time where we do our rapid fire session. So I'm just going to give you a question, and it's the first thing that comes to mind. Sometimes it's an option. Sometimes it's just a question.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Okay. Coffee or tea on tour?
Coffee.
Coffee. Okay. Early bird or night owl?
Early bird in an ideal world. Not always possible.
What? Oh my gosh. I would have thought night owl for sure.
No, there's nothing I love more than if I can wake up early and just like have those first few hours of the day before everyone wakes up. That's like ideal. That's probably
sure.
I'm more of a night owl in terms of like how I live, but how I would like to live is early.
Yeah, it's to be the early bird. So when you get those days,
yeah, I'm an aspirational early bird. Yeah.
Wow, that one threw me for a loop. I definitely thought you were going to say night owl. So that's wonderful. That's great. Favorite city to perform in?
Ooh, I'd have to say it's a tie between Toronto and Ottawa. Toronto because it's my home city. Ottawa because they always sell out my shows, and the energy is awesome. I think the last 4 in a row have sold out. And we got 2 coming up on this tour, 2 nights in a row that are sold out. So it's gonna be really fun.
Wow, that's amazing. Those are gonna be some great shows for sure.
I can't wait. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, dream collaboration.
Ooh, dream collaboration. Gotta say, off the top of my head, either. Oh wait, this is supposed to be rapid fire, but I'm thinking too hard about it.
Oh, good. It's hard. That's a tough one.
It is a tough one. I'm gonna say either Noah Kahan or Josiah and the Bonnevilles, as I mentioned before, his album.
Yeah, I mean, Noah Kahan, I can hear him in your songs for sure. Like his style, like it definitely flows. But yeah, he's great. I have to listen to that other album you recommended, and then good for thought for me.
Perfect.
Well, thank you so much, John, for dealing with all the tech issues. For everybody out there, Zoom virtual interviews are not always the easiest
We made it happen.
So I appreciate that. Thank you so much for sticking with us. I just really appreciate it. So happy to hear your story, and we wish you all the best and cannot wait to hear and see more of you in the future.
Thanks so much, Ashley. Appreciate it. Cheers.
Cheers.
And we'll see you next time. Thanks so much for having me.
No problem.
If you enjoyed today's conversation, be sure to subscribe so you never miss out on an episode. You can find John's music on all of your favorite streaming services, and be sure to check out his latest album, The Nomad. We'll put some links below so that you can follow along. For me, Ashley, thank you so much for sipping with us today. Till next time, cheers.